On hole 10, we kind of augmented a little bit. A straight tunnel shot with a Mando, you got to stay inside this left tree, you got to be right of it, and you got to be inside the protector for the tree there. If you miss either one of those Mandos, you throw from where you went out of bounds.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Wow.
Were you trying to ace?
I was not trying to ace.
Whoa.
There's a wind out there.
There's
Getting
that
gusty.
much of wind?
I think you just threw it flat, where you needed a little hyzer, and it just got crushed.
I didn't know it was that windy, to be honest.
It definitely sped up just a little bit.
That has been the most finicky thing about playing disc golf for the past month and a half for me, is we get these windy days, just like this, that don't seem that windy, but then the wind doesn't make up its mind.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you think it's fine, and then 5 seconds later, that happens.
It's a total guessing game.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, when that happens, you just have to almost not pay attention to the wind. You just have to trust your instinct.
Yeah. Oh, Pat, I kind of want to give this a little baby bid. Seems kind of foolish, though.
Do you want to go down as a legend?
Okay.
You should have stronger conviction than that.
I'll do a little Yuleberry Annie bid.
Oh, that was Barry Yuli.
Okay, that's all you can say? I hit some metal?
No, that's good. You wanted to do a Yuleberry, and I said that was Barry Yuli.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm a lot further than I'd like to be, but. Ooh, oh, look at that.
Little low, little low.
Problem there is I thought about making those last two, and I just thought this one should go in too, but that's not how it works.
It's funny how the mind game comes in. My question for you is, how do you best turn it off? And have you figured that out?
There's times where I figure it out, and you think you have it figured out, but then the whole landscape changes, and then you have to figure it out again.
Yeah.
Once you think you have the secret, you know, like when you wake up from a dream, you like remember it vividly.
Yeah.
And then 5 minutes later, you have no idea what you just dreamt.
Yep. Well, we made it to hole 12. This is where if you need to go to the bathroom, it's right there for you. I don't know why that's important, but it is important. So this hole, we're going to take about 11 steps back from the tee pad. And the trick of this hole is that you have to stay left of that tree there, and you have to be right of the tree down there. And if you miss that, you have to go to a drop zone, which is where the other tee location is, and it's visible up there.
Hold. Oh, nice throw.
Wow. I got bailed out. This is what we do in the ashram.
I already feel my chakras aligning.
Ooh, the good old S curve.
Good old copycat league.
That was a great shot. Guys, I don't get any extra ohms for that one. Maybe a...
Runway.
You should be thanking God.
That's true. You did
set the tone.
You gave me good energy. Look, I love the runway. That disc is great. I throw it all the time.
He does.
I was throwing a runway, and my runway turned into a hex. I have no idea.
Really?
It got so straight. I was like, what just
Mine
happened?
are beefcakes.
So I'm just throwing the deflector right now.
That's
but
what
granted, you probably want the deflector at low altitude.
That makes a lot of sense. Oh yeah, I get these nice little testes.
Nice little testes.
All right,
talk about yourself.
You know that's not what I meant. All right, a nice tester of a putt. You know.
All right.
Yeah.
Remember.
Yeah.
It's actually a good mantra to meditate on when you're putting.
What, like
Om, like the great yogis of old.
just like centering
they
yourself?
centered themselves with the sound of the universe, which is Om.
Wait,
And,
Om is the sound of the universe?
It is.
So that disc is the sound of the universe?
If you meditate on Om, it is the steps of finding nirvana. So you have to truly vibrate it from the center of your being outward. And that's a great mantra for putting. It didn't resonate with you fully there.
Well, I feel like
you didn't get the right frequency.
it takes time to find the center of the universe.
Totally.
Yeah? Have you found
Keep trying.
You want me to throw the Om?
No, I'm throwing it.
Well,
No, I need the Om.
We're on hole 13, which is a 210-foot shot. There's really not that much trouble here except for there's a ditch before the basket. If you land anywhere in that ditch, there's a rock that we use for a drop zone. If you're anywhere behind that, you have to go to the drop zone and make a 25-foot putt.
You literally learn things as you go, because I'm actually going to start thinking Om when I throw.
Om.
I call it the McBatch.
Om!
Oh!
Wow.
That was pretty.
That has a little more turn than I gave it credit for.
Tempo.
Up there.
Tempo. I literally put the Om in the bag today.
You what?
I put the Om in the bag today. This is the first time. 4?
Do you throw the Om a lot?
I've never thrown the Om.
Oh
But-
my, I'm short.
Oh, he's in.
What?
He has to go to the drop zone.
Pat,
Is this a first?
this might be a
Second.
first. No, this is a second. This is my second time.
Wow.
Ah. So, Eagle, when you get all fluffy like this, how do you best respond? I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Like I said back on, what was it, hole 11? The landscape is constantly changing. It's like when you think you have it figured out, then there's times where you have nothing figured out, no matter how good you are. So you have to always be adapting to the situation you're giving. But paramount is a smile and a good attitude.
I can do that. Okay, just commit to the putts. I committed to the putt and I said Om in my mind.
We've taught you well.
Got you on the accelerated program, Dave. Hole 14 is about, I'd say 60 feet back towards the fence. And there's an area which is a straight direct shot through a mando. Hopefully the mando doesn't come into play. If it does come into play, then you have to go to the normal tee pad and throw, and you do lose a stroke on this one.
Oh, that looks really nice. Maybe a little.
It went long.
Oh, wow.
If it just hits the top and scoots down.
That's usually what I try to do here. Just a little scoot and boot. How do you like deal with throwing discs at elevation in your off season and then developing a game around those discs and then having to adjust that game when you go to sea level?
That's exactly what I asked myself. Because I feel like lately it's been more exacerbated because we're playing like tighter, more technical courses. And I really don't like doing it anymore. I wanna spend more time in a warm, low altitude place before the season starts.
Yeah.
Because I really feel like the practice you get here isn't very lucrative to what you're needing on the Pro Tour.
It's hard.
Because you're making guesses on a lot of things.
That's what it feels like when I go down to like Tulsa or Texas. Like, well, they should do this.
You really don't know what your discs do, in all honesty. You only have like a brief idea.
Yeah. Nice putt.
We're playing hole 15. It's going to be a dog leg right. You got to stay to the left of this, obviously. There is another little ditch there with some rocks. It's obvious if it's short, and there'll be a drop zone from those rocks.
Rock zone.
Maybe short. Is there wind? Gotta find a. Did I just huck that a mile?
Yeah.
I sure did.
That's the. This is the OB line.
That's the.
It's an arbitrary OB line.
It's a.
Just forget that there's OB.
These two dandelions define the line. Oh yeah.
Oh, shit.
When you want to just confidently jam one in, but your brain gets in the way. Wow, nice putt.
I'll take it. One of them will go in. Nice putt. Ah.
Hole 16, this is where the course, with the last 3 holes, you can come into this hole shooting a very good round, and these next 3 holes can bite you. We don't call it the gauntlet, but most people know that the gauntlet means that there's some difficulty. So you have to land in the island, and if you miss, you have to go to a drop zone.
Ooh, that looks so good.
No.
So fast.
Why? Why? I thought that was perfect.
That really did look good. Wow.
What? Go in. Oh, nice.
Wow.
You know, Pat's got me on a very strict strength regimen right now. So as you can see, it's paying off dividends. That was a putter that I just threw over 220 feet. So as you can tell,
Flex on them.
you know, it's not a big deal, but you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Can you throw a putter 220 feet?
On a good day.
Yeah.
And Eagle, I mean, he's, I think, 3/4 of the way done with this hole. He's going tactic into this green.
I don't think they make a disc slower than the tactic, but I think the tactic is too fast of a disc for the amount of length that Eagle has left. Oh, come on.
Oh, yep, I'm done rolling in the bullseye.
All right. Let's see if I can dunk this.
Good.
Oh, it wanted to dive in there.
The tumultuousness of convection. You know what I'm saying?
Confection? We're getting some desserts after this round?
Convection! Wind!
They use convection to make confection.
What's convection?
Convection oven, like,
Oh, you gave me a convection oven.
there's no way I gave you an oven?
You gave me a convection oven.
When?
You know, Tana gave me that black convection
Oh,
oven.
an air
Remember
fryer.
that? Oh yeah, an air fryer.
Yeah. Do you use your convection?
I haven't used it once.
So hole 17, this one here is a little tricky to figure out, but there's 4 trees in the middle. We're going to take the second tree in each one, and they're kind of offset. So the last 2 trees, you have to get through those 2, or else you go to a drop zone. But you have to hit straight down the middle, a very tough tunnel shot.
It's actually a lot easier now that I know the Mandel. Now that I know it's not tree
You're not
2
worried
and
about
3.
this big old furry guy?
It's a little flex.
Little flex. Skipping. Okay, well
Now I know I can swing it. I thought it was tree 2 and tree 3.
And you did not flex that. That was straight hyzer, out of the hands.
Okay, I had intention to flex it, and it didn't come out flexed.
It's like a surprising hard little baby shot.
No, it's very demanding.
Demanding as Valmont can get.
Because it's such a late kind of mando. And there's usually a right to left on this hole that just...
And if you're throwing back, you have to throw flippy.
On the regular layout, what's your course record, Eagle?
Thanks for asking, Dad.
Yeah, what'd you shoot out here?
What did you shoot out here? And wasn't it in a tournament?
Was it like 8 down or something?
I shot half a perfect round.
Half a perfect round. What's half a perfect round?
18 under. Because a true perfect round is when you ace every hole.
Which, I don't know if anyone's done that.
No.
To earn my chops. The chops are not being earned right now.
No chops.
I'm gonna watch some film.
The butcher is all out of choice cuts today.
Am I up still?
Do you want me to go?
I'll go, I'm up. This is what we call disastrous. Nice putt. I'm glad one of us are making some putts.
You've had a fair share.
I've had a fair share. It's been a bit squandery here and there.
I mean, statistically, you're making more than you're missing.
We are on hole 18 in Schwagmont Alley, and it is definitely a tough one. The course record is not at risk unless an ace is made. This Mando here is these 2 trees in the center right here. You have to make it down the gap or else you have to re-tee without taking a stroke. And you got to keep re-teeing until you make it through the Mando. The course record is 12 by Caleb. He was on pace for it, which has happened many times. A lot of people have been on pace, and these last 3 holes, we call it Schwagmont Alley for a reason.
Ooh, God, this hole. Stupid hole.
Stupid. It's the great difference.
I slipped, but I got
Makes
through.
the Mando.
He made it.
Might be able to catch up
I
now.
need like soccer cleats sometimes.
Are you kidding me?
Swagmont giveth, and Swagmont taketh.
Throwing 3.
Do we have a rule on how many times we let someone throw
I
here?
don't have the right discs.
Throwing 4.
Do you want it? You know, I did pay a little bit of money to Eagle the other day, see if he could give me a chance here. That was a nice roller. Do you want a tempo, runway, maybe a glitch? Nice glitch.
I think we're tied.
All right,
They're going to
yeah, hold on.
You win, Dave. Congratulations.
I win! Bro. Wait, what?
Congratulations.
Look,
Your swag.
when I said make it even at the end, I didn't mean, you know, that obvious. You know, that's very kind of you. I think the viewers were starting to feel bad for me and some of these missed shots. So I think you were just being an empathetic human, which
You'll never know.
I really appreciate.
You'll never know.
I really appreciate that about you,
It'll be-
Eagle. You know, you're very thoughtful, considerate,
Thank you. Thank you.
charming, some might say.
Like a lot of the time when I'm coming down the stretch and get a bogey, I just want my colleagues to stay out on tour, make a little extra money.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate, so I can just pass it on.
I like that. All right, let's see if I can get a nice big banging putt. It was swooping.
I really don't think I was ever gonna make it.
Do you just not have the right disc for that shot?
No. I had one good disc, which was my first one.
All right, let me just clean this one up right here. That's a par. We got a par. That's what I'm talking about. You know, sometimes you just got to put your head down, grind, make sure that you do not get defeated by the course. I tell you what.
Well, guys, looks like Schwagmont Alley got you.
That hole sucks.
He never liked that hole.
I thought it was a great hole.
Yeah, no problems there
I
for
can
you.
see
That was a pretty easy par, I'd say.
Well, this is meant to be a test not to demoralize both of you, but there's a lot to pull from that round.
A lot of life lessons.
A lot of life lessons.
What are
Comes
you?
down to the last hole sometimes.
Never give up. Never give up till the end.
And sometimes that hole may be a hole that's ridiculously ridiculous and dumb, but you have to throw it because everybody else has to throw it.
Now, Pat, can you say one kind thing to both of us?
Well, I can say thank you to my son for coming out here today on his day
Thanks,
off,
Dad, for
coming
dragging me
in
out here.
and saying yes to doing this video. And then this morning going, are you regretting doing this? And he said, yes, I am.
Okay, well, I don't know if we
Because-
needed that
no.
level of candidacy here. Like,
And for Dave being open to play against a pro and to stick with it, and I don't even know who won.
you know, maybe
I
we'll
think we
never
know who. I think we knew who won.
We knew who won, but hole 18 might have flipped the script, and that's what Schwagmine is all about. We can easily come out to Belmont and shoot 14, 15 down, but when you're at 10 down and end up at, what, 5 up?
You know what?
Seven up.
Technically, I ran out of discs on the final hole, so that's actually, I didn't shoot a conclusive score.
I
It's
mean,
actually,
it seemed like you threw some discs out of your bag at the end there. You know what I'm
I
saying?
threw them all though. I didn't have any more discs left to throw, so technically that would be a DNF. I didn't
Oh.
finish. So technically, Dave won, being the only competitor.
So this is what we would call a default victory?
You could call it.
Wait, there was a drop zone?
Usually after 3 throws, we have a little bit of mercy and we let you go to the drop.
You didn't give your
I've
son
ne-
mercy?
I've never
Oh,
heard
that
of the
was too
drop
much
zone.
fun.
Okay.
We had to see a little bit of struggle. All those smooth looking putts,
This is child abuse.
humanness.
Well, do we have any final words, fellas?
Do you have any final words?
I think we can all say it together.
Like and subscribe.
And like and subscribe.